interview of Tamil superstar Ajith Kumar almost after 15 years. He's talking about sports, success, tackling social media toxicity. Very, very interesting. And also, he was racing, he won, he qualified, I think. Also, met with an accident. He's a film coming out, so lots happening. So, hopefully, we'll get more about that. His interview is with Gulf News. If you haven't seen the original, put the link in the description. You can check it out on their channel. This is a reaction to it, not a substitute. I'll be pausing him while talking. So, do note that. It'll be nice to hear him out, what he has to say. I've only seen one of his film, really enjoyed it, Mankata. And with you, Marachi, we'll be watching it soon. Actually, by the time you're watching this, the review will be out on the main channel. The members of the channel will be able to see this video early. That's the perk you get if you really want to support the channel. You really like the content, you can become a member. You also get member only videos such as song reactions, and I've reacted to Vidya Marachi song also, which I really liked. Only available for the members. So to know more, click on the jar button and let's check this out.
Hi everyone, this is Manjusha Radhakrishnan from Gulf News. I'm the entertainment editor. Today I'm doing something that's far more entertaining. It's actually somebody who's not just an actor,
Oh my
but
God,
also a car racing champion and an
mic is
enthusiast.
placed too close.
He told me that he does it for the soul, and I truly believe that. You seem so tired yet so full of life as you came in today.
First of all, hello everybody. I'm
Hi.
He's very soft spoken. The mic is unable to catch him. So I can understand, very noisy place. The mics would have been placed better for better audio, and I don't think they have noise reduction on. So, anyways,
yeah, as you all know, I love motorsports. I love sports, anything to do with sports, travel. So it keeps me motivated, recharges me to go back to work with enthusiasm.
Right. I have two sons. One of them, twin sons actually, one of them is a very sore loser, and I keep putting them in sports, telling them that's the only way. I think sports is the biggest leveler, isn't it? You lose more than you win. Do you believe that?
You don't lose, you don't win.
you learn.
I tell my children, get your education from school, learn communicative skills. But the most important thing in life is to travel and indulge in sports of any kind. When you travel, you meet people from different walks of life, religion, experience different cultures. And I have said this before, you learn to empathize with people. You know, there's a very famous quote that religion makes you hate people that you have never met before, which is so true. You know, we tend to form opinion about people, countries, different race, even
He's going quite deep with that.
before we have met them. It's like being a frog inside a well. So when you travel, you realize how small you are, how small the whole world is. And as far as sports is concerned, it teaches you how to handle success and failure with grace.
I would agree that traveling, when you travel, you observe so many things. If you open your eyes around you, like suddenly you feel like what you do is nothing, right? There's so much more happening around. Sometimes we just live in our own bubble and we don't realize it. And sports is always, I think the people I enjoy the most in sports is who handle themselves really well in that area. It's not getting not getting the emotions really get too heavy on you. I think that's important because the moment you lose, you win. It's all, you know the game is being played for that result, but the result is not the only thing. It's the process. And that's really, really important, right? Like winning or losing is just the outcome, but what you do through that is what really matters and what the focus should be. That's why my biggest fan of MS Dhoni, because he always talks about this process.
It brings out your real personality.
Yeah.
So they say that your personality is formed within the first few years of birth.
That's right, 6.
Yeah,
That's
first few years, like maybe 4 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And then, so probably, when you look at all these world summits, I mean, this is what I have come to understand.
Right.
We see all the world leaders indulge in a game of golf. It's probably to understand each other better through sports, to see how good, how one handles success, or how everyone handles failure with,
That's true.
are they able to handle it with grace? So I think sports and traveling are very important aspects.
So you think I'm doing a decent job putting them in sports just to teach them that both fame and failure are both imposters at the end of the day, right? Don't take them too seriously, isn't it?
See, failure teaches you more than success does.
Yeah, for sure.
See, when we go through failure, bad times, through adversities, we God-fearing. We tend to be more careful with the decisions we make. We don't take impulsive decisions. We very careful with the way we go about life on a day-to-day basis. But it is when we are successful that one needs to be extremely cautious.
Yes.
They say success is like a wild horse. It will let anyone hop onto it. But if you can't tame it, it'll throw you off and wait for the next one to hop on.
Right.
So
Nice.
I think sports
Nice, Matt.
teaches you how to handle both success
Right.
and failure with grace.
Of course. And
In my childhood, I don't remember who, but I got this quote that a normal person, not normal, you can say an average person or anything, you can use anything, that they fall in a pit and then they learn from it. And but a smart person is who sees the other person falling in the pit and learning from looking at that instead of doing it themselves. But I feel like over time, when you live your life, you feel like actually that's not exactly true. Like you cannot be just smart and just look at others failing and avoid yourself. Take lessons from it. Sometimes you also need to go experience it yourself. I think that gives you more understanding and better perspective. Because just being outside looking at other people falling, it doesn't give you the perspective what it feels like to be down at the bottom and come back again. So I think it's sometimes we hear quotes and everything which feels right at that time, but when you live life, suddenly everything is not black and white, that right or wrong. There are different variations of the same thing can happen and different perspectives you gain over time.
you have done that actually in real life as well. That's impressive. And I think,
I think you're being too kind.
of course not.
I'm not yet there, but I'm trying to be a better person with every passing day. I do have my own flaws, shares of I have my share of flaws.
But who doesn't? But who doesn't, right? I mean, that's how I look at it. I mean, as long as we do better every day. And car racing is one sport, or any sport requires a mental strength. It's just about risk and rewards, right? When you are on the racetrack, what goes through your mind? Is it mental agility? Is it like sturdiness? What do you think is the biggest life hack or a skill that you need to have to survive on the tracks?
No, once you're inside the car, it's just that you follow your braking lines. There's only so much. You don't think beyond the car. You don't think beyond the track. It's and unlike any other sport, like in the films, you get one shot wrong, you have a retake.
Yeah.
Tennis, your first serve, you fault your first serve, you have a second serve. In racing, there are no retakes. One brief moment of distraction.
That's true.
One mistake can maim you for life, can kill you. So you need to be on it all the time.
Do you practice like
I don't know how many of you have seen that film, Ford versus Ferrari. I think he did the same race, like that. It goes on 24/7, like not 24/7, sorry, or 24 hours. You constantly, not like 24 hours you drive. Yeah, you're in partners. I think 3 or 4 of you. One drives 4 hours, then he comes back, then the other person goes, and then by the time the third person is back, fourth person is back, you have to go again, and you have to just keep rallying like that.
how do you get that kind of discipline? Because consistency is key for anything. But when it comes to racing, what do you think? Is it just like, do you need that space every day, or
Make
do you
sure you
train
hire the right people.
around you?
Not just racing, any it could be a business venture, any sport, you make sure you have the right kind of people. You have a coach, a driver coach, trainer, a spiritual person. I mean, you put a team together who guide you, who prepare you for what's up ahead, the challenges up ahead. You get what? There is a protocol that needs to be followed. So I tell people, if you choose to do something, do it properly.
Yes.
Don't do it half-baked. You follow a protocol, follow a strategy. Winning, you can win. You constantly need to keep your game up. For that, you need a lot of support from people, from family. Now, I can't be doing all this if I didn't have the support, love, and support of Shalini and my children and my siblings, my parents. You understand?
Of course.
So it's very important.
It is hard, right? It is racing is it, in a sense there's risk for everything you do, but there's more risk involved with racing, right? So like it's passion, but you have a family, you have kids, you have everything that you're leaving behind to pursue this, and you need that support. You cannot just want to leave them, let them take care of themselves, and if something happens, for God grace doesn't happen, anything happens, fingers crossed, but if something happens, so you have to be ready about all those things.
That you let them know, you let your loved ones know as to how badly you wish to pursue something, and seek their help as well.
Right. It's when you are on the racing tracks, your adrenaline is pumped up. But the people who are watching you, your loved ones, I'm sure their heart is in their mouth as well. How do you tell them, like, I've got this under control? Like, do you need to you have a conversation with them?
Let me be specific, like racing. Everything is, be it your cars, everything. You have two kinds of risks, right? Like you have calculated risks and you have risks that you take. As far as racing is concerned, it is a lot more safer to be doing this on a racing circuit than being stupid on the road.
For sure.
I see a lot of youngsters getting killed on the road. Not just getting killed, hurting others because of their irresponsible behavior. They put other people's life at risk as well. When it comes to racing, we have a medical center here.
It's a controlled environment.
The cars and the vehicles are built in a way
For
that
this specifically, yeah.
unimpacted kind of protects the driver. Then the marshals.
Basically there are all precautions there, you, like I think this happens that you take inspiration from racing and you want to race wherever you are in your locality, and we used to have cycles, right, in this colony only we should do that, but yeah, it's not that safe, and they are professionals that everything, like they have safety gear, everything, still accidents happen, so one should be always remember this.
There to ensure that the car is cordoned off or the vehicle is cordoned off so that the other vehicles don't come on to it. And then you have the medics, and only they are allowed to come in.
Right.
Get the drivers out of the car.
Yes.
They kind of stabilize them.
Right.
Unlike in a road accident, somebody has an accident. Trying to be good Samaritans, 10 people come and pick you up.
Here it's not allowed to do that.
I know. See,
Yeah.
that's a whole problem.
There's a rule
like
not
in
to
India,
touch them.
In India,
Yeah.
that's not the case.
Yeah.
On most parts of the world,
Yes.
people think they're being good Samaritans.
No,
When
no,
they
don't
see an
touch them.
accident victim on the road,
No.
they just go pick them up, put them in an auto, and if that person unfortunately has a spinal injury, by doing so, you maim him for life. And
Yeah,
it happened to a very close friend of mine.
Okay. Yeah.
Who met with a car accident in
Right.
Pune,
Yeah.
and the locals around thought they were being very kind and being good Samaritans, picked him up, and he had broken his vertebra.
Oh no.
And when they did that, broken vertebra, severe the spinal cord, and the poor thing is he's now confined to a wheelchair for the rest of his life. I mean, so these are things that we need to. I'm not trying to say we need to educate the people, but it needs to be told that you just don't run up to an accident victim on the road and just pick him up like a rag doll and
Yes.
shove him into an auto or a cab.
Yeah.
Wait for the medics to arrive.
Get the professionals.
And then they tend to give them water. Because if that person requires immediate surgery, you cannot perform surgery right away because he has consumed water. So the anesthetist wouldn't administer general anesthesia till such time that maybe for a couple of hours he.
No, it could cost them their life.
It could. So,
based on-
so, like I said, that there's so many things that you need to be aware of. So.
Interesting. Like in my school, we had, program where we used to learn all this first aid things, what to do if you are, find someone, how to give, compressions, and what all the kind of bandages done, what happens, accident happen, what you should do, and all the things they not teach you, but they tell you. But how much do you even remember? And the whole, I always feel like, I don't want to create a problem, as you said, right? Instead of in the name of help, I want to make it worse. If I am not fully capable of it, then why don't take risk? It's someone's life, so that's what I feel. But yeah, but it's weird, right? Like you want people to help you out, but hearing this would be like, oh, don't touch him. But yes, call the ambulance, be there if he asks something, if he's moving around, if you want some help, like you can help out in that sense. But maybe don't take action that you know what to do and just pick him up or take the person, do something which is should not do. As you said, the expert should be there to monitor it, but it's not possible everywhere, right? Like by the time ambulance comes or something comes, it will be too late.
I know racing can never be safe.
Yes.
Yep.
Motorsports can never be safe. I mean, you had Ayrton Senna, one of the best drivers in the world, who was killed on the racing circuit. Does it mean he was not up to the mark? It happens.
Okay.
I mean, Michael Schumacher had met with an accident away from the circuit while skiing. It's not something that he loved to do. So
It was the biggest.
it
was the biggest irony of it all.
These kind of things happen. But
Yeah.
I'm saying we need to be conscious and prepared for eventuality. So when I race, I'm not here thinking nothing would happen to me. Anything can happen. So I tell people, be sure what you want to do, because every choice has a consequence,
Right.
and you should be willing to face the consequence. So if I'm here racing or indulging in adventure tourism, I wouldn't say like motorcycle tourism, which
It is in some way, right?
it can
Today.
happen. Accidents happen.
Yes.
So I know what the consequences can be if one you have good days, you have bad days. So I'm not saying chicken out, be a coward and not do it at all. Prepare yourself.
Lovely.
Get the
Precaution.
right equipment. And I see a lot of people, especially since I now run a motorcycle touring company, I see a lot of people who invest a lot of money on fancy motorcycles.
Yes.
But they wouldn't spend money on a proper
Safety.
riding gear, like a helmet.
Yeah.
Or I tell my friends, I tell riders who wish to join us on cross-country rides, I tell them the cost of your riding gear, which includes your helmet or your boots, your gloves, should be at least 10 to 15% cost of your motorcycle.
Fair enough.
I think that's a fair, way to look at it.
Right. Of course.
And it will help you save your life
Of course.
at a given day.
I think sometimes we just cheap out on such things, thinking, "Arey, nothing will happen, it's okay." But then something happens, and then it's more costly than getting the, taking precaution would have been much, much better. It's just, again, it's always falling in the pit and learning. Sometimes you should be smart and look at the person fall and you learn from it.
That's true. Last question. Do you like the roar of the engines or claps from the audiences in a cinema hall, or can you compare the adrenaline rush of both?
See, having asked me that question, I want to say a few things beyond cinema, beyond sports,
Interesting.
with what's happening on social media. So much of so toxic.
Yeah.
We cannot feel it is not just for celebrities. When I say celebrities, it's not just for people like us in the film business or in politics.
I don't know what, I don't know the reference of this. What was happening? The normal thing, or when this was done, something else was going on?
On governance. So I see it's spread through every sphere of society, which on the long run is not a healthy sign. It's not a healthy sign. There's, something needs to be done about that.
Filter out the hate, you
I
mean?
don't know. But something needs to be done. Who's going to bell the cat? Are the respective governments all over the world going to take a call on this? Are the social media platforms going to take a call? You know, do
The
something
feed of
about
it, right?
because today mental health has become such a major issue
Yes.
world over. People are losing their mental health.
For sure.
I mean, we talk about good health. I mean, it's not just physical health that we talk about. It's not just about six-pack and having a great body. Mental health
Yes.
is so important. I see a lot of people losing it. And I want to tell my fans, look, life is short. You could be gone. We could all be gone.
Yes.
And like they say, our grandchildren won't remember our names. I don't know what my great grandparents' names are.
That's true.
Yeah, you're right. I
You
don't
know, you
either.
can only follow your family tree till a particular
Yes.
to a particular gender. You can race it to a particular. So which means like we will all be forgotten. Maybe our great grandchildren will not even bother to want to know us or remember us.
That's one way, definitely. To, I was trying to think of my. I know stories about him. My great grandfather. I know stories about him, but yeah, great is no way at all. That's very true actually.
So what's all this fuss about? Why so much of hatred? Why is there so much of toxicity? Be happy for people. You know, I'm always happy for people. I'm not trying to be self-righteous.
I like that.
You know, be happy for other people. If someone's doing well in life, be happy.
Yes.
You know, be happy for people because I see people, extremely talented people, who don't get very well educated people. They have everything going for them, but somewhere they fall short in life. They don't get to where they need to be. Yeah? Just saying. In Tamil, there's a saying called Ennam Pol Varke. Ennam Pol Varke means what you think is what you are, or how your life is. So if you have good thoughts,
Yeah.
so will your life be, or your life will be beautiful. You read negative thoughts, so will your life will be just the way you think.
Right.
And then there's another question of being ambitious.
At what cost?
No, sometimes I have people, when I tell people like, you know, you should be ambitious, but make sure that your abilities match up to your ambitions.
Yeah, for sure.
Or try to develop your skills to match your ambition. There are some people who are extremely talented, phenomenally talented, but not ambitious at all. I think there needs to be a balance between the two.
This interview is definitely like, I think that's what where he is as a person right now in his life, where he's not thinking about the materialistic things in a sense. Like, it could have been about his films and movies and this and that. Like, if you like whatever questions he's asking, he's taking it to a different level of, kind of a spiritual level of thinking, and about life and the lifestyle we live, and how can we make it better, and what's the, like the core of it, instead of just talking about the outside surface.
Sorry if I've come across as someone who's trying to preach, but I think I pray to the Almighty that all this hatred, all it comes to an end.
Vitriol,
I think
just
it's going.
pure venom.
I think one fine day things will blow out of proportion where it is going to affect every single individual in this world. So media. I mean, you're from the media house.
Yeah. Yes.
I think
Yes.
when something happens,
Yeah.
I think the media also needs to take responsibility for what happened. Because we celebrities are blamed when something happens. Celebrities are blamed. People in the governments are blamed. Everyone is blamed.
So
but
even fourth estate should.
I think the media and the people
Yes.
also need to take accountability.
For sure. I'm with you.
I hope people who create these hashtags, Vijay fan, Ajit fans just fighting, and they like they should listen to this.
And making sure that the world is a better place to live.
Of course.
I mean, the least we can do is don't trespass other people's space. Be territorial. Don't trespass. Work hard. Play hard. Don't bother about what the other person is doing.
Yes.
I mean, how is it going to help you? Focus on your life. I tell my fans. I mean, yeah, okay. Watch films. Everything is fine. But Ajith Varga, Vijay Varga, Ninga when are you going to do?
I think that was a lovely thing you told
I'm
fans.
very grateful to the love that you have all given me. But please look after your life.
I love that.
I'd be a very happy man when I get to know that my fans are also doing very well in life.
Excellent.
And when they're nice and kind to my peers, my co-stars, and they have nice things to say, nice words to say. Again, life is very short. Our great-grandchildren are not going to remember us. So just keep this in mind. Live for the day.
Yes.
Don't look at the past. Don't look at the past and worry about what could have been. Don't look ahead and worry about would this happen. Live for this moment. Live for now, because one day we will all die. One day we will all die, and that's the truth.
Yeah, that's the sad reality, but you're living it so fully.
Let's all work hard, play hard, and be happy. Stay healthy, not just physically, mentally. Love you all.
That was quite an intellectual, chat. It's very, very interesting. I think that's the mindset he is in. And I think just look at it, right? Like, if you can say that, oh, he's a big superstar and he has so much money, he doesn't need to earn more money, this and that. And he can, take off and just do, he's into racing and he's just doing that. But I don't think that's so true. Like, you need that mindset. Even if you have money, that's not the thing. You could be like, oh, I could have more money, more movies, I can do more brand endorsement, this and that, and make my image and become a big superstar. Or he's already a superstar, but more big superstar. I'll do pan-Indian films. I'll do the, like, could have just, in that race of, being more. Greed never ends. We always see, right? It's not that he's satisfied, he has money, so he's okay. The moment you have that, actually it's more difficult to leave that cycle because you're so used to it. So, to break that and, to explain his family, get that support from them, and pursue his passion for racing, it's a big thing. It's a big ask for your body at the age, and to take that risk to break away from what you have been doing, building a career into, and just not stop, but take a detour, or go on a different path for some time and balance both of them in a way. We'll see that how it works out, but that's a big task. It's not easy, and I think that shows that his space he's in. I think he has kind of in a way transcended from just going in that cycle of the rat race. We all want to participate, and then you participate and you realize that that's not actually what gives you happiness, and all you are going into doing the wrong thing, but you're so stuck that you don't want to leave. So I think it's an inspiration for all of us from him, taking from this very interesting interview, very different. I thought it'll be kind of, you can call it generic, that typical racing and acting and that normal thing, but it was very, very different and very deep and very interesting. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments below, and take care of you next, and I will see you next time.